Hi, everyone. It is Eugene, and I am 90 days sober today. Oh, and a lot of you I haven't seen or spoken to in years. And some of you I have just met over the past week or so. But one thing that unites you all is that you've all been a part of my life and my story. And I consider myself no more than, or a little more really, than the sum of all of you and all the connections I made with each and every one of you. So I thought I owed you all a quick update on me. Um, and for those for whom this is my first reach out, I apologize. I am working on my list of amends. Um, but yeah, I basically am back in rehab. This is my second time in rehab. And I wanted to just quickly share my story of experience, strength, and hope with all of you. So back earlier this spring, I was arrested. I was arrested for being what the sheriffs called a menace to society. Three words that I never thought I would hear describe my actions and my behavior and my character. I was booked into county jail and charged. I do have a court date coming up in August. And I realized in that moment that I had a problem with drugs and alcohol. For years, I've been isolating up in the mountains, um, moved down to Sky Forest, where I did some good things. I hung out with my dad, who has dementia, and I fostered a dog and tried to make a life a little bit down here. But mostly I was just isolating and getting deeper and deeper into my addictions. That all ended um, when I came to rehab after getting arrested. And what I realized is I needed some structure and some routine in my life again. I needed community and I needed to learn how to accept myself and learn how to open up my heart again. Um, it's been closed, I think, for many years, and I no longer wanted to hurt people. And I guess in turn, I didn't want people to hurt me. And I think the really ironic thing is that you learn that by not being in people's lives, you really can hurt people. So, you know, um, you think you're doing something good for people in the world, and it ends up not working out that way. And I needed help. I needed help because I was chemically dependent on alcohol and went to detox and checked myself into Betty Ford um, at the end of April. Spent 2 nights in medical detox, moved to inpatient residential, um, and spent 3 weeks there. Then moved to partial hospitalization, which was another 6 weeks, and then am finally here in intensive outpatient in this lovely halfway house. um, Basically, just trying to stay clean and stay sober. 90 days is a lot. It is an important milestone for the recovery community. And apparently, a lot of the science says that once you hit 90, things become more manageable. And that the first 90 is really the most vulnerable. Um, but I think what's been hard about this process is just confronting how much I neglected my life and my friends and my community and my family. And it is not easy sometimes to face all of that being sober. Um, so what's working right now? What's working is just being here, having some accountability. Um, I get breathalyzed and UA'd regularly, and I go to a meeting or two every day, and I go to lecture, process group, therapy, psychiatry. Um, I've been exercising more, I've been eating better, and I am starting to pick up the pieces of a really shattered life that I wanted to end and made attempts to do. Um, so 90 days is big, and I wouldn't have done it without the fellowship and without these programs and without, frankly, the sheriffs and whatever neighbor called my ass because I was knocking on people's doors. I don't even remember this, which is the scary part. Um, and just shouting unkind and unsavory things, which feels so out of character for me. So, what's next is I don't know what's next. I think some of my low burn anxiety is around the future. Sometimes I don't really know who I am in sobriety. I don't know if what's next is worth it sometimes, if I'm honest. I want to believe that there are riches and rewards that come with a life of abstinence, particularly for me, recognizing that I have an addictive personality and that I am an addict. Um, but I need to take things one day at a time, as they say, and I need to let go of my control and just let my higher powers, guide me through a lot of this. And I just need to be grateful. So thank you for listening to this. Thank you for rooting for me. Um, Thank you for setting examples for me and for being a part of my life story because I have nothing really else to live for apart from family and friends. And as my heart starts to open up just a little bit more each day, um, and as I start to do some step work, it's becoming evident to me that this will take a shitload of time. It really will for me. Um, I tried to do the math, and I have basically 15 years of addictive or abusive behavior with drugs and alcohol, and I have these measly 90 days on this side. So to think that I'll be cured or better after 3 months in rehab is a complete farce. So I expect to do a lot of work over the next year, and I hope you're along for the ride. Thank you for listening and celebrating my 90 day with me. I'm actually welcoming gifts. I'm really bad at asking for help and money, but I would definitely love some support through this process just to pay for some expenses. Um, and yeah, but more than that, I just need prayer and your well wishes and whatever you're willing to give, a nice thought, a quick note, a hug if I see you. Um, I hope I hope that I can be a better version of myself and be a better version than the best version that I have ever experienced before this all happened. And sometimes I don't think I can get there. because there is a lot of damage, a lot of hurt uh, that I've caused others and that I've caused myself. But I guess this is the hard work, you know? I guess this is the moment where the only way past is through. Never. I never imagined myself s- spending time in jail. Never imagined myself having to go to court. I never imagined myself having to check myself into rehab again. But there it is. I am not in control sometimes, and that's okay. So, um, yeah, I hope you're well wherever you are. I hope there is abundance in your life. And I just want you to know that by including you on this list, I am thinking about you and that you have, in some small or large way, made an impression on me and made an impact in my life. So thanks for joining me for the ride. Bye.